Howdy, this is RB and Leanne with AFK Days, and in this video we take you with us on our day after running the longest races of our lives. We woke up the day after the race and study booth. What are we doing today, Leanne?
Trying to decide what to do.
How's that going?
Not good. It's 11 a.m.
How do you feel?
Sore.
Why do you feel sore?
Ran a 10K on one
Wait,
good
start
leg.
over now that the peel's out of the way. We were feeling okay, but both of us were a bit sore and stiff. We started slow with a simple goal of good coffee. Luckily, there was some good coffee right across the road from the RV park called Canyon Brew Coffee. We decided to take it easy today. Normally we would go find a way too long hike with high exposure and do that for the day, but we were both still recovering from the race. So we decided to explore but make it a low energy day. So driving it is. Can we go now?
Yeah.
Okay.
A 4x4 unmaintained road.
We headed back to Big Bend Ranch State Park and found some areas neither of us had explored before. There are a bunch of Jeep trails in the state park, and that sounded like the perfect way for us to get out and explore without having to do a lot of hiking. We are both new to off-road driving, and this seemed like a great way to get some practice. We had a lot of fun driving around and exploring the state park without having to hike it. We kept playing a game called Would the Trailer Fit Down This Road? Most of the roads, the answer was yes. You can see it. Since we switched to the Black Series RV, when we go down roads like this, we always look for places we can bring the trailer. The Black Series would have done great on these trails, but we would have struggled with where to park and also not a lot of places to turn around. That'll leave a mark.
We're getting a new paint job out here.
We've visited the Big Bend region of Texas several times, and it seems every time we come, we find a new way to experience it. This time was off-road driving. We can't wait to come back and continue exploring these trails of the Big Bend Ranch State Park.
Are you filming me?
Leanne has been at the ER and ran a 10K in the last week. Let's see what else she can get into.
Deep.
We eventually came across some hoodoos and hopped out to explore.
We're on the short hoodoo trail in the state park. There's a hoodoo.
A hoodoo is a tall spire of rock formed from millions of years of erosion by rain and wind. The word originated in Africa, referring to rock structures with strange animal shapes and embodied spirits. What does each hoodoo look like to you?
Have we mentioned recently how much we love this country? The views, they are something else.
The trail is a short 1.1 mile loop that spurs off to an overlook. The Hoodoos Trail is one of only 2 trails where leashed pets are permitted in the park.
We kept looking at our watches because we did not want to be late for our date at Starlight Theater this evening. If you're visiting the Big Bend region without getting a bite to eat at Starlight Theater, you're just doing it wrong.
In Terlingua Ghost Town, you'll find ruins of the old town where mercury was mined until the 1940s. In the 1970s, Terlingua was reborn as a desert refuge where you will find quirky sculptures, adobe ruins, a historical cemetery, and even teepees. But the place you'll want to be is on the famous porch of the Terlingua Trading Company, where locals and tourists mingle and guitars are picked. We made it to the porch just in time to see the sunset light up the Chisos Mountains. While you wait for your table at the Starlight, make sure to shop the treasures inside the store.
It's our first and second course.
RB will probably eat most of these. He loves Brussels sprouts, Terlingua chili.
This brisket was not on the top 50 list, but you don't want to miss it at the Starlight Theater.
What are you after?
Nothing. A few days later, Leanne took a trip to the petroglyphs and captured some great footage of her adventure.
Big Bend is full of history. There are thousands of archaeological sites in the park, but in order to protect them, only a few are considered public, so you will have to do your own research to find other sites like these. The petroglyphs in this area are believed to be around 3,000 to 8,000 years old. Mortar holes are found throughout Big Bend. They were used to grind mesquite and other desert seeds. Much of the underlying meaning of these petroglyphs remains a mystery, and the meanings are only known to the person who made them. Graffiti in this area dates back to 1902. Unfortunately, many of these areas have been vandalized. Disturbing these sites is illegal and will cost you. Park staff repaired this site as much as possible, but the damage is permanent and still visible. It's interesting how there will be a single pictograph over itself. After a few great days in Terlingua, we hitched up and headed to the national park. We stayed a few very windy nights at Rio Grande Village Campground and explored the east side of the park from here. There are no hookups in the campground, but we didn't mind as our solar panels worked great. A fill and dump station is provided at the campground's entrance.
It's gonna be a pretty sunset. And it's cooking dinner. I think it's gonna be stir fry.
The next day, we headed to one of our favorite areas of the park. The views of Mexico's Sierra del Carmen range were amazing. Stay tuned for our next video where we continue to explore Big Bend.